Hey everyone, I'm here again with another narrated PBR battle. This time I am using my rental pass, which I haven't used in a good long while. I thought it was time to break it open again, as it's always quite interesting to use. You can see my opponent's like pretty OU user, standard sort of stuff, which is irritating. Well, apart from the Milotic, which is, UU now, but and Garchomp, which is Uber, but yeah. Anyway, I feel as though I should say it with the rental passes, as I always get asked about it. It's like about move sets and stuff. Because they are rental Pokemon, I have absolutely zero influence over their move sets. Zero. So, well, movesets, items, natures, you name it. So, like, but that's kind of part of the fun, really, of using rental Pokemon, because they're always a bit weird and different, and I'm never quite sure if like they're EV trained or not. They seem to be like pretty effective in like some areas, but not so much in others. They might just be EV trained in like really weird ways that it's not in the standard or whatever. But I'm not sure anyway. If anyone could tell me, then that would be fantastic. But anyway, to start off the battle, I used Calm Mind with Alakazam because I was expecting possibly a switch or a stat up, and it actually does use Nasty Plot. I also thought, if it used Tri Attack after a Calm Mind, it probably wouldn't KO Alakazam, but Nasty Plot's kind of bad if it has a Focus Sash, as that could do a lot of damage to most of my team, but this turn I just decided to go with a Psychic anyway, see how much damage it would do. And it hits, of course, and actually ends up KOing Porygon-Z, which is fantastic, as that could have been a big problem. So down it goes, and my opponent thinks about what to send out next, and I seem to remember they take a while thinking about it. I don't know if I should either, when I'm doing narrative battles, edit out these kind of awkward kind of pauses where I'm just thinking la 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 la, thinking of things, trying to think of things to say, because my opponents always take so much longer. But I don't know, maybe you prefer my random jabbering about nothing. And he sends out Dusknoir. I thought Shadow Sneak might happen, but I was figuring out, I was cautiously optimistic that even if it did have Shadow Sneak, it wouldn't KO Alakazam in one hit if it was, a defensive Dusknoir. But I wasn't quite sure. Anyway, it doesn't seem to have Shadow Sneak, and I use Shadow Ball. It does over half, which was pretty good. Most good, even. Dusknoir uses Shadow Punch and takes out Alakazam easily enough. You don't normally see Shadow Punch so much on Dusknoirs. Normally, they'll have like Shadow Sneak and like one of the Elemental Punches or something. But Shadow Punch is an alright move, I guess. It's 90 power with like stab on Dusknoir at least, but what you've all been waiting for, I throw out my Dusknoir, so it's Dusknoir versus Dusknoir, male versus female. And if you look at my Dusknoir's moveset, it has like Ice Punch, Earthquake, Shadow Punch, and Confuse Ray, which actually isn't like a terrible moveset. I'm not quite sure if this Dusknoir is actually more offensive or not. I can't quite remember. Well, I mean, like, like it's adamant or something as opposed to a defensive nature. But anyway, he uses Pain Split and gets back a load of his health. It's kind of annoying that his is faster. But my Dusknoir uses Shadow Punch, and it does about half damage, maybe slightly less. No, it's probably around half. And it doesn't really matter, really. But anyway, both have leftovers. And this turn again, I decide I'm just going to go with Shadow Punch, because I figured I would wear him down eventually if he kept using Pain Split, as he'd have less and less health to recover each turn. But if he were to use Shadow Punch, then that could be, well, actually it wouldn't really matter for me, because it probably wouldn't KO my Dusknoir. But he uses Pain Split again, gets back some health. My old Shadow Punch comes out, and it's so nearly KOs it. Like, literally must have like 1 or 2 HP left. Well, actually maybe 2 or 3, but doesn't really matter. Which was very irritating. Which means he had another turn to do whatever the hell he wanted against my Dusknoir. And I go Shadow Punch again this turn, as, you know, I thought he might do another Pain Split or something. But he actually decides to go with a Shadow Punch. And it doesn't do that much to, well, for a super effective attack to my Dusknoir. But I return fire with my own Shadow Punch. And down his goes, which I was most pleased about. I don't know why I keep saying most, but yeah, his goes down, which was good. And my Dusknoir gets leftovers recovery. Oh yeah, I'm like trying to get a proper microphone for my computer at the moment. I ordered one a while ago, but for some reason it's not being dispatched for like ages and ages. I mean, currently I do my voice recording through the microphone in the laptop itself, which isn't great quality, but hopefully I will get that in good time for like maybe the next narrated battle I do, but it really depends how long it takes for it to be delivered. But anyway, back to the battle. He throws out Garchomp, which is really irritating, but I figured I was going to go down this turn anyway. He gets a completely useless critical hit on Dusknoir, and it goes down, which as expected. Now, Gyarados is my remaining Pokemon, which I wasn't sure at this point which way it could go. Intimidate obviously was a very big help. But Gyarados is kind of a weird moveset. Well, not that weird. Aqua Tail, Earthquake, Dragon Dance are pretty kind of normal moves to have, but Facade is a very kind of weird move choice. But, you know, I can't complain too much. These are rental Pokemon after all. It's better than having absolute rubbish, but I go with Dragon Dance. He annoyingly has Outrage. I hate Outrage on things like Salamence and Garchomp because they're just so devastating. And I also hate, you know, like Draco Meteor on things like Latiosi's, because I just run into Latiosi's all the time when I play Japanese players during the day, and it's so irritating. But anyway, I use Aqua Tail. It doesn't KO, it does about 3/4 damage, and Outrage easily finishes me off at this stage. So that was the battle using my rental pass. Ended in a loss, but it often does with my rental pass, to be quite honest. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a fairly good battle nonetheless. Dusknoir versus Dusknoir was good, but I guess I will catch you guys next time. Later.